like a Hellcat.
Hello everyone, welcome to Geet and Learning. I am Geetika. Today we are going to do the 4th chapter of 6th standard, that is sorting material into groups. So in this chapter we are going to know how the materials are separated into groups. Okay, we are going to know what is matter, what is materials, and what are the general principles of the matter. Okay, what are the general properties of the materials, we are going to know that, and what is the advantages of separating these groups, we are going to know in this chapter. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, that is matter. What is matter? What is matter? Matter is nothing but the substances which is occupies in a space and have mass is known as matter. Okay, matter is nothing but the substances which is occupies in space and have mass is known as matter. Everything in our surrounding is made up of matter. Okay, everything in our surrounding is made up of matter. Okay, understood? For example, if we take as a plastic chair, okay, a plastic chair, okay, there will be tiny particles called atoms. Atoms, these are nothing but known as matter. Okay, these are nothing but matter. The tiny particles, it is a tiny particles called atom. The combination of number of atoms in a particular thing is known as matter. Okay, next we are going to know what is material. What is material? Okay, material. What is material? Material is nothing but the substances which we need to make things is known as materials. That means the substances. If it is a plastic chair, plastic will be the material. Okay, if it is a plastic chair, then the plastic will be material. The material is nothing but it is needed to prepare things. It is a plastic chair. Okay, plastic chair is a thing. So what we need to make that plastic chair, that substance is known as material. Okay, understood? Differentiate between matter and material. It's very important. Next we are going to know about the general principles of the materials. General principles of the material. There are 9 general principles. So let's start with that. General principles. Okay. General principles. So first one is, what is first one? That is appearance. In this general principles, what is first one? Appearance. What is appearance? Appearance is nothing but the external structure of the material. Okay, appearance is nothing but the external structure of the material. Okay, so here we have 2 types. You can see abbreviations. This is a small abbreviation, means the type, the first form, L. Here it is L. L is nothing but there are 2 types of appearance, that is lustrous, another one is non-lustrous. Okay, remember this is very important. Lustrous, another one is non-lustrous. Okay, in lustrous is nothing but this shininess. Shine. Lustrous meaning is shine, and whereas non-lustrous means non-shining or rough. Okay, rough. So these 2 types of appearance are general properties of the material. First one is appearance. Always remember, for there will be L and NL. L for lustrous and L for non-lustrous. Lustrous means shine, non-lustrous means rough. Next one, what is next? Next is hardness. Okay, hardness. What is hardness? Hardness, there will be 2 types. Okay, there will be 2 types of hardness. One is hard material, another one is opposite of hard, Nothing but soft material. Okay. So there are two types of hardness. One is hard and another one is soft. So in this hard, for example, like rock. Okay. Example rock. In soft, like a rubber. Yes. Okay. First two principles are over, two properties are over. First one is appearance, next one is hardness. Third one is, what is third one? Visibility. Visibility. Visibility means, what is meant by visibility? Visibility. What we can see. Okay, visibility is nothing but what we can see in our naked eyes. Okay, there are three types of visibility. There are T, T and O. Okay, T and O. There are T square and O. Remember this like this. Okay, visibility. There are three types. One T square O. T for transparent. Another T for translucent, and another one is opaque. Okay. There are three types of visibility. One is transparent, another one is translucent, another one is opaque. Okay, transparent means in this materials, it's a pure glass. Okay, it's a pure glass. In this, full light pass through it. Okay, full light pass through it. For example, glass. For example, glass. Glass like water glass. Okay, for example, water glass or any glass like okay, water glass is enough. Next is translucent. What is translucent? Translucent means partially the light will pass through it. Okay, partially the light will pass through it. Partially light will pass through it. For example, what will be the example? Example will be water. Okay, water. See, if we see from the water, if you see a light from the water, it will be blurred in it. The light will not fully travel to another side, isn't it? So that is partially allows the light to pass through it. Okay, example water. Next is opaque. Opaque is nothing but it completely not allowing the light to pass through it. For example, wood. Okay, wood is not allowing the light to pass through it. If we torch any wood, now the light will reflect. Isn't it? The light won't go other side. So that type of object is opaque. So there are three types of object, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. Always remember these three types. Okay. So we have completed general principles in three categories. Next, good and bad conductor for electricity. So what is that? Good and bad conductor for electricity. Okay, so let's start with our next topic, that is fifth one. Fifth one is nothing but good and bad conductor for electricity. Okay, so there are two types. One is good conductor, another one is bad conductor. Good conductor for electricity and bad conductor for electricity. Okay, what does that mean? Some materials have some ability to transfer the electricity through it. For example, we can say iron. All the metals have the capability to transfer electricity through it. Okay, for example, iron. You can see copper wires in the copper wires. Okay, so iron, copper, these are some good conductor for electricity. Okay, next is iron, copper are good conductor for electricity. All the metals All the metals are good conductor for electricity. Next is bad. Bad conductor for electricity, that means some things, some materials which does not allows the current to pass through it, does not allow electricity to pass through it, are known as bad conductor for electricity. For example, paper. Yes, paper doesn't allow electricity to pass through it. Paper. Fiber means cloth fiber, the fiber which is cloth is made, cloth fiber. Okay. Next, paper fiber, wood, etc. Okay, these are some materials which doesn't allow electricity to pass through it. Okay, next we are going to know the good and bad conductor for heat. Okay, the sixth one is conductor, good and bad conductor for heat. So it is nothing but when we flame any materials, it will become heat. Okay, for example, you can see the utensil. You can see the utensil like kadhai. When we heat it, we can see the heatness of the utensil. We can't touch that. That is a heat property. Some materials have the capability to absorb the heat. Okay, those are called conductor, good conductor for heat. There are two types. One is good conductor, another one is bad conductor. Okay, good conductor for heat, good conductor for heat. What are those good conductor for heat? Nothing but all the metals. All the metals are good conductor for heat. For example, iron, etc. Okay, are good conductor for heat. Next is bad conductor for heat. Bad conductor for heat is nothing but those materials which are not absorb the heat. Okay, for example, paper, isn't it? Wood are bad conductor for heat. These are materials which are bad conductor for heat. Next, we are going to know about the combustible substances. Combustible substances are nothing but combustible. What does combustible means? Combustible substances. Okay. What does combustible substances means? Combustible nothing but which can burn. Which can burn. Okay. The combustible substances which can which can burn. Okay, for example, which can be burned in the fire? Which can be burned in the fire? Tell me some examples. Guess some examples. Examples are paper, yes, wood, etc. Paper, wood, these are some examples of combustible substances. Cloth, fiber, okay, those are also some examples of combustible substances. Plastic also. Okay, next we are going to know the seventh one. It's here the seventh, fifth, sixth, seventh, third. Okay, this one is fourth, fifth, sixth. This one is seventh. Seventh one is nothing but float and sink in water. Okay, the substances which float and sink in water. There are many materials which is float in water. Float in water. Give me some examples which can float in water, which can be float in water surface. Example, plastic. Yes, plastic. Next, anything which can float in water. Plastic, wood. Then lighter materials can float in water. Okay, etc. Next, which can sink. Sink means to drawn into the water. into the heavy things, heavy materials. Heavy materials, that is our all the metals. Okay, metals are heavy. Metals are heavier than water, so it drawn into the water, it sink. Okay, so nothing but float and sink in water. The differentiate, they can ask in exam, differentiate, give me some examples of float and sink in water materials. Okay, so for floating materials will be plastic and wood, and sink materials will be heavy metals. Heavy materials like metals, stone. Okay, stone. Those are heavy materials. Those can sink into the water. Next, eighth one. Okay, eighth one. What is eighth one? Eighth one is nothing but solubility. What does solubility means? Solubility. What does solubility means? Solubility. Solubility is nothing but soluble. Soluble. There are two types of solubility. One is soluble. Another one is non-soluble. Okay. One is soluble, another one is non-soluble. Soluble means the substances which can dissolve with water. Okay, solubility, dissolve with water. The materials which can dissolve with water are known as soluble substances. Non-soluble substances which does not dissolve with water, are known as insoluble. Not soluble, insoluble substances. Okay, insoluble substances does not dissolve with water, and soluble dissolve with water. For example of soluble, sugar. Yes, sugar dissolve with water. Salt dissolve with water. Yes, sugar. Example we can write here. Here, sugar and salt. Okay, solubility. Insolubility, soluble, sugar and salt will be soluble with water, whereas insoluble substances or materials like sand does not dissolve with water, stone. Okay, these are the substances which does not dissolve with water. Those are known as insoluble substances. Okay, next to last of general property is miscible and immiscible. What is this? Miscible and immiscible. Double M S I miscible BLE. Immiscible. Okay, MIS miscible. One C will come here. Okay, miscible and immiscible. Miscible is nothing but these are between the two liquids. Liquids like water and oil. Okay, oil also a liquid, water is also a liquid. So water and oil will never mix. Those are known as immiscible. There are two types of liquid doesn't mix with each other is known as immiscible. Miscibles, that is opposite. Two types of liquid dissolve with each other is known as miscible substances. Miscible substances, some examples will be lemon juice and water. Lemon juice, okay, lemon, the liquid of the lemon, that will be liquid, and when we press in a water, it will dissolve with water, isn't it? So both are liquid, both are dissolving, that means those are miscible. Two liquids dissolve with each other, those are known as miscible, whereas immiscible, they does not dissolve with each other. So these 9 properties are very important. We have discussed here 9 properties. These are very important for the exam. In exam they can ask for differentiation and they can ask for the properties. They will give some materials and you have to find the properties of the materials. So these are some. First one is appearance. Appearance, we will revise it once. So let us revise it once. Appearance. What is appearance? There are 2 types of appearance. What is that? Lustrous and non-lustrous. Next is hardness. Hardness are 2 types, hard and soft. Hard, for example, rock. Soft will be rubber. Visibility, which we can see. Okay, not appearance, which we can see without naked eyes. There are 3 types: transparent, translucent, and opaque. Okay, transparent, water glass, which can travel the light, entire light. Okay, complete light can be travel through it. The materials. Okay, then translucent, only partial light can pass through it. Next is opaque. Okay, opaque, example, wood. Next is conductor for electricity. There are 2 types: good conductor for electricity and bad conductor for electricity. Good conductor for electricity, those substances, those materials which allows the electricity to pass through it. For example, iron and copper, all the metals are good conductor for electricity. Next is bad conductor for electricity, paper and fiber. Okay, next is conductor for heat. There are 2 types, good as well as bad. Good conductor for heat, all the metals are good conductor for heat. Example, iron. Bad conductor for heat, paper and wood. Okay, next is combustible substances. Combustible substances are nothing but which can be burned in the presence of fire. Example, paper and wood. Okay, next is float and sink in water. Float and sink in water, some materials which can float. Example, plastic and wood. The materials which are lighter in weight. Next is the sink. The materials which are heavier in weight will sink. Okay, metals and stone. Next is solubility. Solubility is nothing but there are 2 types, soluble and insoluble. Soluble is nothing but with the substances which can dissolve with water. Insoluble is nothing but the substances which does not dissolve with water. Soluble substances, example, sugar and salt, whereas insoluble substances, sand and stone. Okay, and last one is 9th property is miscible and immiscible. Miscible means the substances, the 2 types, 2 liquids can mix together, is known as miscible. Immiscible is nothing but the substances which cannot mix together, doesn't mix together. Okay, those are known as immiscible substances. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, our next topic is grouping of materials. Grouping of materials, already we studied that materials, they have been grouped in 7 classifications, 7 types. Okay, what are those? Those are nothing but we have some abbreviations, that is PMW. Okay, PMW, frog. Okay, PMW, frog. PMW frog, this is an abbreviation. These 7 letters are there, 7 groups are there. Okay, first one, P. Things which are made by, P means plastic. Okay, things which are made by plastic are grouped 1. Okay, next, C. Things which are made by M. M means metal. Okay, that is group 2. Okay, next, same thing. Things which are made by W. W means wood. Okay, this is classified group 3. Next, same thing. Things which are made by F4. What is F? F, just think. F for nothing but, think. F is things which are made by fiber. Next is things which are made by R for nothing but rubber. Okay. Next is things which are made by O is nothing but oil. Okay. Next things which are made by G for glass. Okay, these are 7 groups of the materials have been divided. There are 7 groups that is things which are made with plastic, things which are made with metal, things which are made with wood, things which are made with fiber, things which are made with rubber, things which are made with oil, and last is things which are made with glass. These are 7 major groups in which materials are classified. Okay, understood? Remember this PMW frog. PMW frog. P for plastic, M for metal, PMW for wood. Next, frog means F for fiber, R for rubber, O for oil, and G for glass. These are 7 major materials classified groups. Okay. Next is our, always remember this because they can ask in exam. Okay. Next, we are going to know about advantages of classification. What is the advantages of this classification? Why materials are classified, distributed in this group? Advantages. What are the benefits of this grouping? Okay. Next, we are going to know about that. So let's start that. So last topic is advantages of classification. So advantages of classification, just remember a simple mnemonic, that is SILU. SILU. Okay, SILU. SILU. Advantages of classification of material, just remember SILU. SILU is nothing but 4 advantages. S for helps in sorting of materials. Okay, sorting, S. Next, second one, helps in, I for identification. Identification of the materials. Okay, identification of the materials. Next, third one, L. L for helps in, L for locating the objects. Which group it has to be. Okay, that helps in grouping. Next is helps in, fourth one, L for understanding. Understanding of similarities and dissimilarities of the materials. Okay, these are 4 advantages of classification. Understood? SILU helps in sorting of the materials, helps in identification of the materials, helps in locating the object, and helps in understanding of similarities and dissimilarities of the materials. Okay, advantages of classification of the materials, that is nothing but SILU. Always remember this. They can ask for 2 marks. I hope this video is helpful for you. You got some information. If you did, please subscribe and like it. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.